But I also kind of feel like we've solved every world issue
I do. I
in
feel
that
like that's
moment.
it. I feel like the airdrops are gonna, that's what it is. That's what we need to do. It's
You
the
guys, we have a
airdrops.
platform. We have a
Right.
platform. We have a platform.
I mean, Mock never really considered actually running the country. And I was like, if we ran the country, I think that the solution would be airdrops of puppies and cows. So,
Yeah.
and people are pissed off at one another. They can't work this stuff out. And they're like, oh, I'm raging, shaking my rake at the sky. And they look up at the sky and they're like, oh, crap, what is that? Oh, geez, it's puppies. It's
With
puppies.
bows around their necks.
Right. Because we'd be airdropping them from the sky out of
Yeah.
aircraft.
With little parachutes. You know
This
what I
is
mean?
what, yeah. And then occasionally you'd see like in rural areas like mine, occasionally you'd see a cow, a calf, just like airdropped from the sky. This is the solution. A calf,
It is.
a small, so there's a calf, just falling from this. And then you'd be like, I'm so mad. Oh, gee, I can't be mad anymore.
Right.
These are puppies falling from the sky. This would solve every
It
problem.
solves so many problems. So many.
Maybe not every, but most problems. It would
Most
solve.
problems.
Don't you? I think it would solve a lot.
Without question. Without question.
No one puts us in charge.
These are the kinds of things that we discuss before we go on, before we go live.
Right.
We also, by the way, discuss very important things like the fact that you can get so much money off of slippers and moccasins at mypillow.com/chicks. You guys, I'm going to show mine again. I have to, because I wear them all the time, even in the summer, because they feel so good. Look at the furry, squeezy kitten fur technology.
I want to rub it on my face. I just want to rub it right there. I want to put my head inside of that whole moccasin. Right?
And I mean, look at the color of it. They have them in the tan and the black and the gray and they even have these in pink. They have these in pink.
Oh, I got to get pink ones.
I mean,
I got to get the pink ones. Yeah, Astrid wants the pink ones.
So
did I invite you
guys?
Did I invite you?
mypillow.com/chicks. Don't forget to use code chicks and you'll get even more discounts. Do it, because Walmart has said that they won't carry Mike Lindell's products anymore. They're being complete jerkwads.
They're commies.
Support Mike. Get all your products from mypillow.com/chicks.
I didn't invite you. Go sit down. Nobody. Go sit down. Go.
All right. So should we start with Cassidy, or should we start with some other things and get other things out of the way? What should we do?
Let's just start with Cassidy. So yesterday I did a post where Dan Rather was like all excited because he was looking at the January 6th, hullabaloo stuff on TV, like watching Dallas. He was like, this is going to be like a Who Shot JR moment. I'm going to get my popcorn, you guys. Dan Rather was doing this. So Cassidy was like Sue Ellen, right? That's who she is. Only she's 25 and
is she
not a very, I think she's 25 years old and not a very, at least she was 25, I think, when she was doing what she was doing. So she may be a little bit older now, but not a very good actress, if you noticed.
Well, I mean, there are things that and by the way, if you have no idea what we're talking about, Cassidy Hutchinson was the star witness in yesterday's pop-up surprise January 6th hearing continuation that aired all over the place. Surprise! And she used to be an aide to Mark Meadows, who was, of course, chief of staff. And so she was not grilled, because, of course, Liz Cheney is in love with her. She was questioned by Liz Cheney, and she'd already given testimony, and part of her previously given testimony was shown in great detail in yesterday's hearing. Now, the reason that she's getting criticized is because so much of her testimony was secondhand or third hand, or I heard from a friend who heard from a friend who. So much of it was that. But there were some firsthand accounts of behaviors that she saw from President Trump, which I believe, because he can be crazy. And so, some of it I think is insane, and some of it I think is typical Trump. And so where you stand on Trump is typically how you're going to respond to her testimony. But there was some pieces of her testimony which were more like explosive, I guess, than others. So we'll go through those. The first is when she talked about Trump's reaction to hearing all the chants of the protesters saying that they wanted Mike Pence to hang. Here is that very not communicated very well, second, third person, I don't remember who was there, account of that.
I remember Pat saying something to the effect of, Mark, we need to do something more. They're literally calling for the vice president to be effing hung. And Mark had responded something to the effect of, you heard him, Pat. He thinks Mike deserves it. He doesn't think they're doing anything wrong. To which Pat said something, this is effing crazy. We need to be doing something more. Briefly stepped into Mark's office. And when Mark had said something, said something to the effect of, he doesn't think they're doing anything wrong, knowing what I had heard briefly in the dining room, coupled with Pat discussing the hang Mike Pence chants in the lobby of our office, and then Mark's response, I understood there to be the rioters in the Capitol that were chanting for the vice president to be hung.
Now, I'm going to go back to that, because what gets really important in the very next thing that you're about to see is Liz Cheney's summary of what she just said. Liz Cheney is going to act as though Trump saying Mike Pence should hang or whatever, she's going to pretend that it's a direct quote. What you just heard Cassidy Hutchinson say is not at all a direct quote. She was like, and then he said something to the effect of, and then I think he said something like this, I'm paraphrasing. Nothing in there was a direct quote because she didn't hear President Trump.
Right. Himself. It was all hearsay.
Yeah. But watch how Liz Cheney spins it.
Pause here on this point. As rioters chanted, hang Mike Pence, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, said that, quote, Mike deserves it, and that those rioters were not doing anything wrong.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. What
right?
a total beast she is.
This
woman, she's unreal. She's just unreal.
That's not okay. That's just not okay.
It's beyond not okay. She is not okay. She's not okay right here.
Yeah.
In so many ways. Yeah.
So many ways.
This whole thing is such a freaking spectacle. I mean, I checked out a long time ago when it comes to this thing. But I mean, this whole thing is it's just drama class.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a theater production, and she's running it. She's the director, Liz Cheney is. And she should be ashamed of herself. And she's not.
It's really, 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 really bad. Now, the next thing that you're going to hear is her, and this is the one that caught the most attention, right? Is when she talks about President Trump attempting to strangle and assault his chief of security and to grab the steering wheel of the beast, his motorcade, so that he could be taken to the Capitol to be among the protesters. So you're going to hear her testimony about it. And then you're going to hear Jeffrey Toobin. You know the one.
Jeffrey Toobin. Y'all remember Jeffrey Toobin? Yeah.
You're going to hear.
He's the guy that whacked off in front of everybody. Remember that guy? That guy. Yeah.
So here is the testimony and then the response.
Said something to the effect of, I'm the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now. To which Bobby responded, sir, we have to go back to the West Wing. The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol. Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Mr. Renato had recounted this story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
Jeff Toobin, let's start with the lawyers. Jeff Toobin.
He tried to strangle his Secret Service agent. If someone had told you that 15 minutes before this hearing started, you would have said, you'd watched too many movies. I mean, the scene is so much worse and so much crazier than any of us thought. And the number of criminal offenses that Donald Trump may have committed over the course of January 6th just got a lot longer, including assault on a Secret Service agent. It is.
So imagine that scene play out, right? Like the beast looks pretty beastly to me. It looks pretty big. It doesn't look like the kind of car that if you're sitting in the back seat as a passenger with all the security and the glass and whatever that's in there, that you could easily lunge towards the steering wheel, let alone to the other seat in front to strangle your chief of security.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I find a lot of this so unbelievably far-fetched and just contrived. Yeah. This is all just so ridiculous to me. It's just so,
now
it literally is an episode of Dallas is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So Dan Rather is getting what he wanted yesterday, which is an episode of Dallas. This is what these people want. They want the drama. This is what they want. They're loving this.
Well, here's the interesting thing about this is that Bobby, who she's saying told her the story, the chief of security is Bobby Engel, and she's saying he told me that this happened. Bobby Engel has also already testified and didn't say any of that in his testimony. So now the question becomes, and I think it was Mick Mulvaney, the former acting chief of staff of Trump, is now like he responded to all this on Twitter yesterday and said, this is explosive. I don't think she's lying. We're going to have to hear from Bobby Engel again, because now that she has said he told her this, now we need to hear from him. And so whether or not he's going to be brought to this hearing, I have no idea. But now there are other Secret Service agents who are ready to push back. Listen to this.
Service so far is not commenting on specifics, but they just informed me that it would like to respond. The Secret Service would like to respond under oath. Two sources familiar with the investigation confirmed that President Trump had requested to go to the Capitol on January 6th and that the Secret Service refused due to security concerns. One of those sources telling me that the president did return to the vehicle after his speech on the morning of January 6th and asked Agent Robert Engel if he could go to the Capitol. Engel said something to the effect of that being unwise or dangerous and that the motorcade was going to take the president back to the White House. A source close to the Secret Service just told me to expect that the Secret Service will push back against any allegation of an assault against an agent or President Trump reaching for the steering wheel.
Don't you think that if there was an assault against an agent, though, that he would have said that in his initial testimony? I feel like that would have been really important information to discuss and to relay. I don't know. Why would he hold that in?
I have no idea. And that's what makes it all so weird.
Especially under oath. You're supposed to say all that stuff. You're supposed to give all the information under God, right? That's what you're supposed to do. So why the hell didn't he do that the first time? If that's what happened. I'm a little confused by that. So, as are probably a lot of other people out there.
Well, yeah. I mean, and this is why it's the way that they conducted this hearing is so dumb in that it is so one-sided. So if there had been people, for example, in yesterday's hearing to cross-examine Cassidy Hutchinson, then maybe we'd have a ball game. But the way that they present it is so one-sided, and then you hear the Secret Service already saying, no, that's not accurate. That never happened. We're going to push back. So then what? And so what is the point of all this, right? It just
it's
it
theater.
becomes so ridiculous.
The point is theater. The point is to crucify Trump before it's basically to crucify Trump over and over and over again. And you know what? At least half of America can see that. I mean, we can see that that's what's happening, which is why, most of us have just checked out because we're like, this is what happens in America. There is a different, there's a different judicial process for Republicans than there is Democrats. And so a lot of us watch what's happening, and this is amplifying it. We see it amplified for him. It's like, listen, whatever happened, we can see that he's being treated the same as how I would be treated if something happened to me because I'm a conservative. The rules are different for me than they are for liberals, right? Yeah. The rules are different. We're seeing that play out with Trump. Whatever happened on that day, the rules are different for him than they are for, say, Barack Obama. And that is something that the American people are witnessing right now. And that's not okay in the United States of America. It's not freaking okay, you guys. And we're seeing it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, and two, you know, I hate to say it, and people will be like, well, you're a DeSantis person anyway. You don't even want Trump to run. And that's true. I mean, I'm guilty as charged. But I will say that I do think, even though this has been such a farce, this whole trial, this whole hearing has been such a farce, I do think for some people, like it or not, it will have been effective. Because even if you don't believe the testimony, even if you don't believe their evidence that they have brought forward, I can guarantee you that you're probably sick and tired of it. And in some ways, the way that Trump responded to all this by saying Cassidy Hutchinson's a phony, she just wanted to come to Mar-a-Lago, and all of that typical blustery Trump way, I can guarantee you that people are getting sick and tired of the whole drama-filled crap. And they just want it to stop and go away. And that includes Trump. So even if you're a person who maybe was on the fence, you're probably just so sick and tired of this that you would just rather he go away, it go away, all of it just go away. You know what I mean? I think that's probably going to be the case for a lot of people.
I hear you. But at the same time, on the same vein, they're emboldening you know, like if you like to say, they're emboldening all of our candidates by doing what they're doing. It doesn't matter who runs, no matter who it is, whether it's DeSantis, whether it's Noam, whether it's anybody on our side of the aisle, they're emboldening all of us is what they're doing with this bullshit. That's what they're doing. They're emboldening everybody because they look ridiculous doing all of this stuff, and it's unfair. It's totally unfair. And there are so many people who have remained very polite for a very long time. And we're watching this and we're like, this is not right what they're doing. And not only that, but there's so much stuff going on in the country, all these kitchen table issues that they are not handling while they're doing this dog and pony show. What are they doing? You know what I mean? Why are they spending their time doing this when they should be fixing issues they're not fixing? Yeah. And so people are really getting pissed off. And it will show. It will totally show during the elections. I guarantee that. I mean, I just really feel. I really feel that. I do.
I hope you're right. You guys, it is time to remind you once again about the humongous summer discounts that genucel.com/chicks is having on all of their skincare, but primarily their most popular package, which includes their most popular products. And they are the most popular for a reason. They are the best group of products, all nicely curated for you into one package. And it's 65% off that package. And then on top of that, if you use code CHICKS at checkout, you get another discount on top of that. So it's the best time ever. Summertime is always the best time ever, but it's particularly a good time to get yourself the most popular package from genucel.com/chicks.
You guys, we recorded our deep dive early this week. It was on Monday, but I believe did it come out yesterday or is it out today? I think it's out today still. Yeah. So check out our deep dive. You can get it where all podcasts are found, and make sure you are subscribing to that and subscribing to this podcast. If you can't listen to it every morning, make sure you're putting it in your pocket or in your tool belt and share it with friends. Do it. You guys, we talked about, I know this is going to be shocking, but we talked about abortion.
Kind of felt like it was a topical topic.
Right. Mm-hmm. we dove right in there.
We took a deep dive.
We did. Yeah.
Somebody was like, listen, Mock, I disagree, because if you were Trump, you would also defend yourself against these accusations. Absolutely, I would. But I'm saying that he's doing it in the way that annoyed people about his personality in the first place. It's in that egotistical way, instead of just saying, these accusations are false. I would like to come and be able to go on the record with my own testimony, instead of just insulting the witnesses. That's the only point.
Yeah, like you're saying he's doing the bloody facelift thing.
Exactly. He's doing the bloody facelift thing.
Right. He's doing the Mika bloody facelift stuff instead of like just, being non-Trump. He's being Trump, which is what he does. He's like,
and either you love that or you don't.
Right. And I think a lot of people are just like, oh my God, we're so beat up at this point, and we just have so many issues going on. And I'm concerned about my 401k. For the love of God, can somebody in power do their freaking jobs?
Yes.
I mean, that's where I'm at. I don't really care at this point. I just want somebody in office to be able to do the job.
Yes, please. Oh my God. I'm so tired of all of it.
They're all a bunch of toddlers. God.
Oh my God. Well, and I know you just mentioned that we did our deep dive about abortion, but everybody should be on the lookout because probably this week there is going to be another very, very important SCOTUS ruling on the power that federal agencies have to just make rules for everybody. And so
great.
There's a case that has to do with the EPA. They're going to be deciding on that this week, likely. And essentially they're going to decide the EPA, the Environmental Protection Act, is they've been accused essentially of overreach. So what the court is going to be deciding is how much power do these federal agencies really have, and should some of the rules and regulations that they're creating really be legislative issues that Congress takes care of. So this is going to be a big deal because it could actually eliminate a lot of power that the EPA and other federal agencies have. So it's a big one. It will affect a lot of things, and that's something to definitely pay attention to.
Yeah,
Yesterday, I did a post on Hillary Clinton speaking out against Justice Thomas, because everybody's like, Clarence Thomas wants to take away interracial marriage, which I always think is so hilarious. But yes, Environmental Protection Agency. Did I say something else?
You said act. You said act, but you meant agency.
Yes.
You said Environmental Protection Act, but you meant Environmental Protection Agency.
Yes,
right.
The agency. Yes.
Right.
Anyway, so Hillary Clinton, who's probably the most bitter, resentful, angry, mean-spirited, awful person ever.
Yeah.
Here is what she says about Justice Clarence Thomas. Look at this.
Law school with him. He's been a person of grievance for as long as I've known him. Resentment, grievance, anger.
Oh God.
Can you even?
Oh my God. Oh God. It's
She's
like
saying
her face like screams grievance. You know? It's
Oh
like
my God.
if grievance had a face, it would be Hillary Clinton. You know what I mean? I just cannot with this woman. I can't. Oh God. Okay.
Yeah. So
do you have a montage? Because the post that you wrote was beautiful about it. Like it just had
I don't have the montage because everybody realizes that she's been so.
Yeah, but seriously, like you guys, her post had literally like 15,000 examples of the times where Hillary was like a total hag and was awful and bitter and terrible. It was like example after example after example. And it was like, no, not going to let you pass on this one, Hills. No.
And then did you see at the bottom of it, I put the video of Clarence Thomas just laughing like the jolly guy that he is.
Yes.
That was such a contrast. But listen, if you, this is what I wanted to play most of all. So the Hillary thing set me up for this video of Justice Sotomayor, which, by the way, did you see my name?
Yes, it's Sotomayor. Justice Sotomayor, you guys. It's great.
And the reason that's my name today is because this is what Justice Sotomayor, who, by the way, could not be on opposite ends any harder from Justice Thomas, here's what she says about Clarence Thomas, with whom she works every day.
But I suspect I have probably disagreed with him more than with any other justice. That we have not joined each other's opinions more than anybody else. And yet, Justice Thomas is the one justice in the building that literally knows every employee's name, every one of them. And not only does he know their names, he remembers their families' names and
why did it stop?
histories.
There we go.
Okay.
He's the first one who will go up to someone when you're walking with him and say, is your son okay? How's your daughter doing in college? He's the first one that when my stepfather died, sent me flowers in Florida.
Oh.
He is a man who cares deeply about the court as an institution, about the people who work there, but about people. He has a different vision than I do.
I don't know why I keep stopping. It'll kick in.
About how to help people and about their responsibilities to help themselves. I've often said to people, Justice Thomas believes that every person can pull themselves up by their bootstraps. I believe that some people can't get to their bootstraps without help. They need someone to help them lift their foot up so they can reach those bootstraps. That's a very different philosophy of life. But I think we share a common understanding about people and kindness towards them. That's why I can be friends with him and still continue our daily battle.
I'll take her word for it. Hillary.
Yeah, I'll totally
Hillary.
take it. Yeah, exactly. And I would imagine that Hillary is nothing like him, you know? And she's probably nothing like Sotomayor either, honestly. You know? I mean, seriously, you think that Hillary knows like any of the people on her freaking staff and about their family and the people in their families, like the names of people in their family? Seriously. You think that people could say that same stuff about Hillary? I would venture to say no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just saying.
You guys, Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced yesterday to 20 years in prison. And so the victims came out, released more victim impact statements. Now, people are speculating that she will not release any of the names of the people who she is protecting because she's going to continue to fight for appeal. So if you're holding out hope that now that the sentencing is over, we're going to hear all the juice, I wouldn't hold your breath for that, because she's going to be very, very interested in self-preservation and filing for every possible appeal that she can file for. So
God, that is so unfortunate. So unfortunate. How
It
old
really
is she?
is.
Do we know how old she is? Is she in her 60s?
I think she's 60 something, like maybe early 60s.
That's what I was. Okay. Yeah. Just curious about that. God, it's so disappointing. Like I really wanted her to sing and just start talking.
I know.
It's just, we're never going to know. You know what I mean? We're never going to know. Unless she secretly writes a book. And then one day when she dies, it just all comes out.
Yeah, but then it'll be way too late. Most of those people will be dead.
I don't know. Eventually she's going to probably get suicided. Don't you think?
I just want there to be karma for the people that she's covering for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Very important people, prominent people who she's covering for. Yeah, a lot of them we probably have talked about on this show.
Yeah.
Good.
One more quick little tidbit before you get to your sack of whack, and that is that, did you ever see that movie Big Hero, the Disney feature, the animated feature, Big Hero 6 or whatever?
Big Hero 6.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. And there's
with the big, the big white,
big
like
belly,
fluffy marshmallow looking man.
Yeah, Baymax.
Yeah,
Baymax.
Betamax. Yes.
So Baymax, just Bay.
Baymax. Yeah. It's been a while. Yeah.
And so now they're working on a sequel, and apparently there was a little clip leaked from that sequel that has come out. So I wanted to share it, because if you're thinking that Disney hasn't gone, I mean, I know everybody knows Disney's gone totally woke, but now they've gotten so woke that in the new Baymax movie, you're going to see this. I'm not making it up. There's a scene in a grocery store where Baymax is looking for tampons or feminine hygiene products. I don't know why, but he's asking for help from the various people that are in the aisles. And one of the people that comes to help is a man who says that he prefers the pads with wings. That's how woke Disney has become. You ready to see it?
Oh my God, you're kidding me with this.
I'm not kidding. You ready?
Yes, I guess. Oh my God.
Excuse me. Which of these products would you recommend?
Oh, well, these are the tampons I usually use.
Thank you.
I prefer pads. They're more comfortable for me.
Thank you.
I always get the ones with wings.
Thank you.
Get them scented and bleach-free if you can.
Thank you.
Yo, my daughter loves these.
Thank you.
These might be easier if it's her first period.
These are really environmentally friendly.
Did you see the guy? I prefer the wings.
Oh my God. What the hell is happening? I swear, we're so doomed. We are doomed. Honestly. This is the thing. It's like the thing that you played yesterday. I swear I shared it on my own personal Facebook page of the woman talking about how we're gonna be like the camels are coming.
Yeah.
The camels are coming. The camels are coming, you guys. They're coming back. Like this is an example of what?
Yeah.
Weak, pathetic, weak men. This is what's happening. We have completely feminized everything. And like our men are weak, pathetic.
It's bad. All right. What is in your sack of whack?
I have two things. All right. We missed a story and I'm going to say it and you're going to get really pissed off at me. And then I'm going to have to do a second one. All right. Cause I know you.
Okay.
All right.
We
missed the story from the beginning of June. There is a tortoise went missing from a family. I'm fascinated by this because I didn't think that this would ever be able to happen. But my husband's like, I can't believe you didn't see this story. Because I was like, oh my God, did you hear about this? And he goes, yeah, this was like a month ago. But a family's missing tortoise was discovered in their attic 30 years after it went missing. And it was still alive.
What did it eat?
It ate termites and like wood in the attic. And it was still alive, Mom. Okay, like I'm even horrified by this. Like
that's a zombie turtle. That's a zombie terrorist turtle. That's not even right.
I was like, what in the world? Like they thought that it just was lost. And then they went up in the attic and they're like, oh my God. So yeah, they found the missing turtle 3 decades after.
Because they don't die. They don't ever die.
He survived eating termite larvae. That's what he was eating. Oh. Anyways, they took him to the veterinarian. He was totally fine. Tortoise was male. They can live up to 255 years and survive for about 3. They can survive.
Dogs are going to live for 10? I know. What's fair now?
This is what we need to ask God when we when we go to heaven. This is like one of the first questions I'm going to ask. I have lots of questions. I have so many questions, but this is one of my top 10 questions. I'm going to be like, what's up with the tortoises? What's up? Mm-hmm. Okay. 255 years. They can survive for 3 years without food and water. Like what in the world? I mean, yeah. So I just thought that was an interesting story. I knew you'd be pissed off. So I have another one. Just really quickly, there is a New York man and woman. They're facing a $500 fine. This is so you, because they brought a raccoon to the store. They brought it to a pet store because they wanted to it was like one of those Petcos where you can bring your dog to the Petco. And they're like, oh, this is our pet raccoon. We're going to bring it in for some pet food. And they're like, yeah. Because you can't have a freaking raccoon as a pet, Mom. This is so you.
If they do, and if it's okay, and the raccoon is nice, haven't you seen the TikToks of the sweet little pet raccoons?
Not okay. It's not okay at all. So
the
the Department of Environmental Conservation police officer got an urgent call about this raccoon who happened to be rabid, and these people were walking it around this pet store.
If it was rabid, that's a problem.
I think that, they just thought this was going to be a sweet raccoon they were going to take into their house and it was going to be great because they're just like you. And so anyway, and I thought I would share this story because I'm like, don't do this. Don't try this at home. Don't take raccoons into your home and take raccoons and put them on a freaking leash and take them to Petco. Don't do that. And so anyway, this happened.
If they're not rabid is all I'm saying.
I can't believe they only got a $500 fine. Like, I feel like the fine should be more for just ridiculousness.
I think we should get a $500 reward for taking care of a rabid raccoon.
My head. Anyways, that is your second story of whack. Tortoises to rabid raccoons. It's all for you, Mock. That is your
Double dose
gift.
of whack today.
That is your gift. You're welcome, everybody.
All right, well, that means it is time for some My Pillow talks. I want you to watch this cat escaping a coyote. It was caught on a Texas porch surveillance camera. It is utterly amazing. This poor, terrified cat. Look at this escape. That cat is not backing down. Look at her go.
Go, kitty, go. Go, kitty.
You got this.
That coyote is skinny and hungry.
Yep.
That cat's like, and he's by himself too, which is kind of rare. Oh.
Look, and he gets her.
Nope. He's like, nope. Back off.
I mean, just like barely escaped, right? And then she's just hanging on for dear life.
It's so funny.
It's
so funny because I actually have seen that video, and I showed that to my husband the other day. And I was like, check this out. And I was commenting on how the coyote is, usually they travel together. And I thought, well, I noticed how skinny the coyote looked. Well, they usually look kind of scrawny and skinny, but usually they're together. So you could tell that coyote was like desperate and hungry and yikes.
I mean,
like
that
that's
makes me sad because I like coyotes too. And I want him to go find something else to eat that doesn't have fur. Like, why can't he go eat that big tortoise? You know what I mean? Just go chomp on that sucker.
He's lived long enough. He's lived a good, 35 years? Long enough life. Go eat him.
Go eat him. Just don't
make
eat other things with fur.
Make him into some soup, for crying out loud. God. Yeah, I know. It is kind of sad. It's a circle of life, man. Circle of life. But good for that cat. That cat. Good for you.
Badass.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
All right, look at this guy who is eating a dog bone or a dog treat along with his dog. Watch what happens.
What?
I'm just going to take that over here.
He was really nice about it, though. I mean,
very
he was very
gentle.
sweet. Yeah,
very gentle.
Sweet. I don't know if my dogs would have been so gentle. I don't know. I'll have to try that.
And then look at this little. I mean, people call it a dog. I don't think it's an actual dog. It's just like a small creature that wants to be a dog, but it is really cute. Look at this.
So fucking big. Hey. Hey.
What is?
Yeah, you got to go.
It's trying to say hey.
Hey. Hey.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That freaked me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. That is so weird.
Oh my God! I just love that.
Yeah.
Also, last one for today. This is a wife pranking her husband on. There it is. They're like in a Starbucks drive-through, and she's in the passenger seat, and he has to order. Right? This happens to my husband all the time. He does not drink coffee, so I have to be very, very specific about what he has to order through the little speaker. And so she pranks him, and it ends up just being hilarious. Watch.
Pinkety drinkety.
She wants a pinkety drinkety.
Pinkety drinkety, whatever that means. But pinkety drinkety. Pinkety drinkety. No, my. That'll do it. That'll do it.
Oh my God. I would totally do that to Greg. I would totally do that to him.
I love him. He's such a good sport. He's like, yeah, I'll need a pinkety drinkety.
I would so do that to Greg too. And he'd be like, what? And I'd be like, no, honey, listen. And then ask for like extra soy. Ask for it. Do it. No, do it. I need it. I do. I need it. And he'd be like, oh God, he'd be rolling his eyes.
But if you carry it off, like if you're super serious and you're just like, I need you to order a fluffity macrodoodle, you just say it. And then
and then then
it's a real drink. I need
and
an
then they do it, and they're all like manly man. They're all they go up there, yeah.
Oh my god, just crack me
They're all
up.
packing. They like walk up. Yeah, it is totally. I love that so much. I am a man. Look at me. Look at me. I'm in a shape. Yeah, and then they do it. I love that. I'm going to do that today. I feel like I need to do that today, just to because I mean to further emasculate the species today. I'm going to do that. Might as well. The camels are coming,
Perfect.
you guys.
The camels are coming.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't know what that means, you should go back and watch yesterday's video to the pillow talks at the end, because there's a really, really good video there, and you'll see it, and then you'll be caught up to date.
I put it on our Instagram too.
Oh,
it's on our Instagram. It's on our Instagram. It's on my Instagram. It's on our Instagram at Chicks on Right. You guys can watch it there. It's this beautiful lady, and it
With a
talks
beautiful
about
voice.
Yes, I don't even know what accent that is, but she talks
South
about.
African.
Is it South African? Okay, well there you go. Yeah, she's gorgeous, and so you'll see her, and you'll be like, oh, okay. And so there you go. You can watch it about the camels coming. You guys, it is Wednesday. I had to look and see what day it was. Bring it in. Wednesday, hump day. It's hump day. You guys, we're sliding into a holiday weekend.
That's
Very
right.
excited about that. So yeah, we've only got 2 more days until the holiday weekend. Very, very excited. Hope you make today count. We will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.